Welcome back from intermission, kids. Silent picture night here on the late night picture show. We're in 1920. I think, 1920. I mean, they're at that time period, after the turn of the century, but before the Great Depression, we had like a handful of wealthy folks, families like the Rockefellers and the Vanderbilts, who owned nearly everything, and everyone else was just a servant, essentially, like breaking their backs night and day to put food on the table, often owing their soul to the company store. You've heard the song. Load 16 tons and what do I get? Another day older and deeper in debt. So it's my belief that there's a certain segment of rich folks today that want to return to that exact same scenario where there's just these handful of rich folks and everyone else not only works for them but rents from them and gets all their groceries from them. So you end up in debt and cannot quit your job. You're like literally enslaved. Feel free to tell me I'm wrong. I kind of hope I'm wrong, but I think that's where we're headed if we don't bring the guillotine back out. And before you at me with your red team, blue team bullshit, both teams work for the same banks, families. These same families. So, if you watch The Great Gatsby, read The Great Gatsby, any version of The Great Gatsby, yeah, times were great for those rich folks, but maybe watch The Grapes of Wrath and see what it was like for the rest of the people. Likely you in this scenario. Okay, this is a brandy crusta. So we took that last drink and we embellished to come up with this drink. This should have a sugar on the rim, but I don't need more sugar in my diet. There's enough sugar in the alcohol. So a couple of shots of brandy, like just a quarter shot of Curacao, a bar spoon of Luxardo, simple syrup, Angostura bitters, what else? Lemon juice. I put about a quarter of a lemon. I don't want too much. Anyway, brandy crusta, and here we go with feature 2. The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. The other poster I had was in French. This is also a German movie, but this is the English poster. What do we got here? Regie Robert Weine. Haupter Werner Krauss. Conrad. Veit Fritz Weher. Lil Dagover. Okay. I like that poster too. We're not going to throw it tonight. All right. This is a 1920 Decla Bioscope AJ. Directed by Robert Weine. Okay. My German's not nearly as good as my mom's. I'm doing the best I can here. This fellow named Francis recounts for us a story which took place some years before. Yeah, the old kind of flashback type thing. We go back to that fateful day when the carnival came to town. As it did for me. And with it, a showman named Caligari. When Caligari goes to the city office to get his permit, the clerk so rudely ignores him that guess what? The clerk ends up dead. Mysteriously. The carnival show consists of Dr. Caligari, his cabinet, which is just more of a crude wood box, containing a sleeping weirdo, all dressed in black tights, and his name is Cesar. At the height of the carnival, Caligari wakes Cesar from a long sleep, and Cesar predicts the future for the good people in the audience. When Francis's friend Alan asks when he will die, Cesar looks him dead in the eye and says, "You will die at dawn." Well, oh shit. No magic here. Sorry to ruin the movie for the spoilers here. If you haven't seen this already, you're probably not going to see it. No magic involved. Cesar shows up himself in the night to make the prediction come true. We talked about this in the last picture. Create the problem, solve the problem. Horrified at his friend's death, Francis makes haste to the woman they both loved, Jane. He tells her of Alan's fate, and she swoons to dramatic effect. Keep in mind, these are stage actors. It's the early movies, stage actors in the movies. Meanwhile, the killer has been identified, has been captured, but is he really the killer? And what about that weird guy in the box? Like, what's his story? The guy who slinks into Jane's bedroom, like a devilish acrobat, I wrote here, and hovers above her with a big knife until he realizes he loves her too. Oh, crap. We got Alan out of the way. Now Francis is in the way. And she is a looker. Her name was on that poster. The typical doe-eyed beauty of the era. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I post these 1920 actresses. I follow a few pages, Flampers, Vamps, and Sheiks. What's the other one? Silent Gold, or I don't know, something like that. So I'm pretty regularly reposting pictures of these 1920s movie stars because, yeah, I don't know. I grew up watching these silent pictures with my dad, so it takes me back. And I think that's the reason he shared them with me. They took him back to his childhood. These movies were probably still playing in the theater, a matinee or something, in the 30s when he was a kid. That's tasty. After she is rescued, she insists that it was Cesar, and off they go, cops in tow, to Caligari's to see if the body in the box is really Cesar. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Either way, Francis is never the same. Hence why he's telling us this story. Okay. Though my copy of the film is rather butchered, with a wide variety of English dialogues thrown in over the decades, I would love to see one with the original. I can read German pretty good. I would love to see one with the original title cards, dialogue cards, and just see for myself, not this hodgepodge of dialogue cards from over the last, I don't even know when this one was put together, but it was like, it wasn't 100 years, but it was probably 80 years. Or at least 70 years after the fact. Okay. Despite the hodgepodge of dialogue cards, I could still see this movie for exactly what it is. And I gotta use my hand here. A true cinematic masterpiece. The cinematography is brilliant, the clever use of lighting and makeup throughout. And then there is the crazy scenery. We talked about this a little bit in the last picture, this German Expressionism, where they built these sets where not one single thing was square. Like the ground was not level. No window was square, no door was square. It's absolutely crazy. The architecture and the perspective is distorted like a bad acid trip, I wrote. This is one strange tale in even a stranger land. And I don't mean just Germany. The atmosphere they created here is a land of its own. One strange tale in an even stranger land. And this, my friends, is a 5-ring circus and one of my favorite pictures ever made. Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, 1920. And still one of my favorite movies ever made. Easily in my top 10, probably in my top 5, if I actually sat down and did that. Right up there with Repo Man, which I often talk about as my favorite picture, just because it captures my youth. Well, Percival's not here to help us, so we're just going to pick a movie out of the bucket for next time, which I know I'm not being very good about coming at you every week, kids, but, things happen. So I'm going to pull something out of this bucket here, and next time we shoot next weekend or whatever, whether it's next week or next time, it won't be more than 2 weeks, unless I get cancer and stuck in the hospital. Okay. We're moving out of the 20s, and we'll probably be color next time. Silent Night, Deadly Night, and the Hatchet Murders. Which I think, Hatchet Murders, is that Deep Red or Profundo Rossi? I think it's Dario Argento. Here with, yeah. My wig might be gray tonight, but next time it will be bright red like the blood in these murders. Okay, do your thing, kids. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs down. Tell me you hate me. Leave me a quote what you thought about. Now, Some of you had to see these silent pictures. I can't be the only one that grew up watching Charlie Chaplin and like Buster Keaton and Laurel and Hardy with my dad. I can't be the only one. Some of you are almost as old as me and had to be subjected to these silent films like I was. I can't be the only one. I have some Laurel and Hardy right there on actual celluloid, like Super 8 Laurel and Hardy movies. I can play right on this screen that illuminates me. Oh, look at that. I made it dark. All right. I'm like kind of yammering on and on now, so join us next time for Silent Night, Deadly Night, and the Hatchet Murders, which I'm pretty sure is Dario Argento's Profundo Rossi.